Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you. So I'm Basil Martinez. I've been a client of PRC and Baker Places since 2015. I went to Joe Healy Detox Program twice, Acceptance Place, which is a 90-day facility. Went through that program 4 times. And then I went through their co-op program just once. So don't be fooled by the tux. I used to be a huge mess. Yeah, it's very true. So I'm gonna try to keep this as brief as I can. There's a lot to my story, but so just bear with me. I'll try to be as fast as I can. So I was born in Santa Maria, California. I'm the youngest of 4 children. I was born into a very religious household. My whole family are very strict Jehovah's Witnesses. I knew I was gay at the age of 12, and immediately I thought, this isn't going to go very well for me, and it didn't. So to make a long story short, I came out of the closet when I was 16. My parents gave me an ultimatum. They said, you can stay here at home with us, you can't be gay, you can study the Bible, go to church, all that kind of stuff, or you can be gay and leave. So I didn't really consider that much of a choice, so I left. To me, that felt like I was being kicked out of the home. To them, they say I ran away. That little bit of information right there really has haunted me up until this day. It's a very difficult thing to get over. My whole life spiraled out of control. I went to 5 different high schools. I lived in my car, stayed with friends as much as I could. Then when I was 20 years old, I moved here to San Francisco. I had a 2000 Saturn SLE, manual transmission, which in this city is terrifying. But I did it. And let's see what else here. Yeah, I had $17 in my pocket. I have no idea how I made it work, but I'm here, so something worked. Thank you. So I was 20 years old. I was working at Starbucks downtown. I was taking classes at City College, all the normal 20-year-old stuff. But I was smoking a lot of weed to deal with the trauma and the pain and the depression. I didn't know I was self-medicating, but I was definitely self-medicating. So the weed turned to shrooms, turned to ecstasy, turned to painkillers, cocaine, all the way down the hill, and I fell into a big pile of meth. And that was when my life really started spiraling out of control. I lost a lot of friends. I quit my job. I stopped going to school. I didn't understand how much trouble I was in, but I was definitely losing control. See, where did I go? Sorry. I have notes here, I promise. So my life was a huge mess, blah, 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 blah. In 2015, I decided, this is getting out of control. Let me go into rehab. And a friend suggested, hey, why don't you go into Baker Place's Acceptance Place? It's a place for gay men to go, and yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So I checked into to rehab in 2019. I completed the program. They talked to me about going into a continuum of care, which is their co-op program, but I thought I could handle it myself. So I finished the program, left, and moved in with a buddy, former using buddy. So surprise, surprise, I relapsed. So I relapsed. I was trying to maintain some type of normal life, but I had to go back into Acceptance Place again, and then I left and relapsed again, and I even tried working at a bar in the Castro, and I don't know what made me think that would be a good idea, but it was a disaster. No, I made a lot of really good friends there. It was a great experience, but I just couldn't handle being around substances. So again, my loss of jobs, things got so bad and so dark that I ended up getting arrested in 2018. I did a hard 7 days at 850 Bryant, which to me, that was a lot of time. enough time to wake me up, I think. So I said, enough is enough. I checked into Joe Healy Detox program for the second time, finished that, went into acceptance place for the fourth and final time. And then I decided, hey, why don't I take them up on this co-op thing and give this a try? I also didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't have any friends or family, so I was kind of this is my only option. So I went to co-op. I needed a job desperately. I realized, I'm on GA, I have an EBT card. I'm just barely making it, so I needed a job, but I was unemployable. So I went to PRC, and they took me into the workforce development department. And I worked with an employment specialist, Lauren Vega, who is still there today. If you know her, she is awesome. She is absolutely amazing. So she helped me. She helped me beef up my resume. She helped me with my interview skills. I took their Next Step and Step Up computer training skills courses. I got myself, motivated and a little bit of confidence there. So from there I went to, so they offered me a job working as a messenger for 4 hours a week, just 1 day a week, 4 hours, which was a nice little baby step into employment again. I wasn't very confident. But they must have liked me because they offered me a full shift, 8 hours at the front desk at 179th Street. Just 1 day a week. Thank you. Again, I was a little bit insecure, but they must have liked me because they encouraged me to apply for a full-time position at Joe Healy Detox in the intake department, which is funny because I had just left there as a client, and I was like, oh my God, are they gonna trust me? I was in pretty bad shape there, but it was fine, it worked out. Except I started in February of 2020, and we all know what happened in March of 2020. COVID hit. So immediately things got really rocky, and unfortunately I did start to struggle a little bit with substances. It wasn't nearly as bad as it was before. It just, I was having a hard time keeping my footing, but luckily I was in co-op. I had the case managers there to help me. I had my manager in the intake department. Her name's Emily Suma. She is fantastic. She helped me out so much. So I decided, no, I'm not going to ruin my life. I'm not going to lose my job and lose my house and do the things that I always do. I'm going to fight this through. I'm going to make it. So I did. And I started taking classes at City College. And then a guest services administrator job, which is like the full-time front desk person at 179th Street alongside Martin Fernandez. I applied for that job, again, insecure, but they hired me. So I was like, okay. So I did that for a year and a half, and in that year and a half, I got to see the way the agency worked. I got to see how hard everyone there worked and how passionate they were and how good they were with dealing with clients. That front desk can be a little bit tricky, and the way that those people handle some heightened situations was so inspiring. I decided that this is what I want to do. I want to be like that. I want to work hard. I want to help. So I did. So I applied that hard work ethic into all aspects of my life, not just my recovery program, but my work life, my personal life. I started jogging. I lost like 40 pounds, which is awesome. Just toot my own horn there for a second. So I was working really hard, and then another job opportunity came my way in the workforce development department, another department I had just, was a client at. So I was like, okay. So I applied for the program coordinator position there, and I got it. So, thank you. So I've been, thank you so much. So I've been doing that ever since. I started there in January 2023. I maintained that same work ethic that I had, that I developed. I was still in co-op, but through that hard work and just being inspired by the people around me, so on August 24th of this year, I graduated and moved out of co-op, which took, thank you. It took me 5 years, but I did it. A little bit longer than I thought I was going to do. So just to finish up here, I just wanted to express my deepest gratitude to all the staff and the board members of PRC and everybody in this room. Thanks to your hard work and dedication to helping the community of San Francisco, I went from hopelessly addicted with nowhere to go, unemployable and broke, to completely abstinent and free of all drugs and alcohol, fully employed, doing work that allows me to help others who are on a similar path, and I have the confidence to stay on track independently. So I'm proud of my accomplishments. I'm proud to be a part of this PRC family, and I'm proud to be able to give back to the community. Thank you.